Shalom, shalom. With the real Hebrew Israelites come to you week in and week out, prophesying the return of the Messiah in the 70th Son. All praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles out in New York, Great Millstone at GMS. Honors to all Akim around the planet, lifting up the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, truth and sincerity. This is Brother Uriah from Great Millstone, Chicago, coming to you with another lesson. And just want to break a brief example. This is a perfect example of Esau, Edom, so-called white man, and his forked tongue. The reporters try to get a straight-up answer about him, and this is how Esau tap dances. This is why we can never trust our enemies, and reason why you have to understand the things that come out of his mouth was prophesied that he was going to use craft. All right, Esau will never be 100% straight up with you. He cannot be. It's against his nature. All right, even Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. All right, transgressions of his education. He knows the things that he puts forth out of his mouth is full of shit. Okay, so I'm gonna play a little clip. I'm just gonna go a couple of scriptures just to show you how slick he is, and he just can't be honest. All right.
We're speaking of the principle of self-defense.
I'm asking if you think that the principle of self-defense applies to the retaliatory, the airstrikes that they're conducting in response.
Matt, this is a very fluid situation. I would hesitate to comment on.
So, give you an example, the so-called Israelis, all right, they attacked, they provocated, and started fucking with the Palestinians. You really want to go back? We go back over 70, 80 years ago when they established the so-called State of Israel through the Balfour Agreement and displaced the people who were living there, the so-called Palestinians, which for the record is neither one of their lands. It's our land, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, the real biblical Israelites. They're fighting over our land, okay? So now coming to right now, there was an attack, and Palestine retaliated, according to them, for an attack that Israel put upon them. Israel turns around and says, no, we were attacking, we're retaliating against them. And now it's going back and forth. And now U.S. State Department spokesperson giving his assessment, the reason why we're there for good old Israel, good old Palestine foe. Israel, that's our buddy, that's our guys. So let me defend them when they're the ones who run the world, and they're the ones who are behind all the major attacks. The Israeli state actually runs the earth. All right, that's the reason why all these nations pay tribute to them. Okay, and this is why we're defending them for bullshit that they're doing, attacking people. Let me shut up. Let me just let them keep on playing.
Operations beyond, the rocket fire that is clearly targeting innocent civilians in Israel. So I would hesitate to speak to specific operations.
So he'll hesitate to speak to the specifics when he's referring to, maybe
that have just occurred.
Our listeners' response to is the Palestinians retaliating to your shit, and you about I'm not going to speak on that. But I will speak on the fact that they did block some rockets that fucked up some people. So as far as I'm concerned, we'll speak on that. Esau will speak on what he wants to speak on, but everything else he'll deflect. Esau masters the art of deflection, all right? Not answering a question straight, but deferring it and twisting it and moving on and minimizing what he doesn't want to deal with. Slick ass.
But the broader principle of self-defense is something we stand by on behalf of Israel and every other country.
Do you think that an Israeli military response to the rockets coming in, is covered by this broader rubric of self-defense, right?
Self-defense often does authorize the use of force.
What you said about the principle of self-defense. Does that
So now he said self-defense authorizes the use of force. Okay, now when he asks, do the Palestinians have a right to self-defense, he gonna tap dance.
the way applied to the Palestinians? Do they have a right to self-defense? Do Palestinians have a right to self-defense?
I'm in broadly speaking, Saeed, we believe in the concept of self-defense. We believe it applies to any state. I don't think that. I certainly wouldn't want my words to be construed.
So now he slipped up because he said to any state, meaning any state, group, metropolis, city, country, nation, all right, has a right to self-defense, but he don't try to gloss over. It's like, now, no, don't be trying to use my words to try to say, now I'm saying about them, because I ain't saying it about them. But he already opened up his mouth.
I understand. I want to ask you, Julie, I don't want to harp on this either, but, the Israelis killed 13 people just now, including maybe 5 or 6 children. Do you condemn that? Do you condemn the killing of children?
Saeed,
I'm asking you, do you condemn the killing of Palestinian children?
obviously, and these reports are just emerging, and I understand, I was just speaking to the team, I understand we don't have independent confirmation of facts on the ground yet, so I'm very hesitant to get into reports that are just emerging. Obviously, the deaths of civilians, be they Israeli or Palestinians, are something we would take very seriously.
Your answer, you're going to know as soon as I read what your answer was, that there's a big problem with it. You said, well, not a problem, it just doesn't answer the question. We believe that it, meaning the right to self-defense, applies to any state. Well, you see the problem, right? Yes? Do you regard Palestine as a state?
I wasn't referring.
Do you
But
in the context of the ICC and the UN. So are you saying that you do not, if it applies to any state, are you saying that Palestinians don't have a right to self-defense?
I was making a broader point, not attached to Israel or Palestinians in that case.
So they do have a right to self-defense.
Matt, I'm not in a position to debate the legalities from up here. What our message is one of de-escalation.
See what I'm saying? Motherfucker, they can't give you a straight answer. This is Esau Edom in a nutshell. They gonna fucking play with you. It's a very simple question. Does the Palestinians have a right to self-defense? He won't say yes. Why? Because if he says yes, then that justifies Palestine for jacking up and attacking Israel for attacking them, which Israel's been doing for 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years, man. But he will not come out and say it. He will play games. He will tap dance. He will play games. This is what Esau does about the stab and jab that they're trying to force everybody to put in their body. All right? This is what they say about just the nature of the medical conditions and the ramifications coming from the facial breathing restrictions to having a pass to say that you're inoculated and okay, and all the you can't say nothing against my narrative. Medical misinspiration. We can go hold a line to make you not be cool and make you bend to our will. But if you attach or attack or resist or refute or debunk, have 1,000 evidences of proof, we can't deal with that because semantically we can't deal with that. It's too true. And I'm saying they're not going to tell you the truth. They're going to play games. This is what Esau does. And the Lord told us and warned us that this was his MO. All right? This is his MO. All right? So let me get a couple scriptures. It's so slick, the slick bastard. All right? Deuteronomy 28 and let's see. 48. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he hath destroyed thee. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, the so-called white man, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, was the mascot of America, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, Esau Edom. And the proof that is Esau Edom, we're in want and of him in all things. If you want to get some clothes, you got to go to the white man's store. If you want to, we got black stores where he get the merchandise from, where he get the cloth from, where he get the textiles from. We still get it from white men. And then who are they paying taxes to? The white man. All right. Food. Where are you getting from? The grocery store owned by who? Jewels, Myers, Albertsons, all these cracker white men. All right. Hunger and thirst. Where you get your water from? The city, run by who? White men. All right, there was a boil water report alert we had in Chicago a couple of days ago, and they said you want to touch that tap water, you better boil it. So if I wanted to take a bath, take a shower, They will say, boil it. I can't boil that. I got to go heat up water on the stove to then put it in the tub to have a hot motherfucking bath because y'all put some fucking contaminants in this shit. We're in one, that's Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Back to verse 39, he said, a nation whose tongue, language, thou shalt not understand the way he speaks. All right? That word tongue goes into Lashawan, which means language. All right? So how he talks, the language that comes out of his mouth, we don't, tongue of been literal, organ of speech, language. All right? We don't understand his language. His language is slick. He speaks slickly. That's why the Native Americans said he has a forked tongue. All right? So the scriptures say he's a goddamn devil and a deceiver, man. All right? This is Psalms. Psalms 55. You brothers know these. I'm trying to catch everybody else up. Let's start with around the 18. He hath delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me. We're in a battle for our freedom, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, for our kingdom of Israel, and for righteousness, the Most High and his plan. It's a battle right now. It's a spiritual and physical battle. All right? That war against me, that was against me, for there was many with me. God shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old, Salah. Because they have no changes. Therefore, they fear not God. Esau, Edom, since he's in power and has not been taken down, has not even really been threatened in hundreds and hundreds of years, he is now getting lax and overconfident in shit. This is going to be part of his downfall. All right? Because they fear God because they have no changes. They haven't been taken down. They have not been humbled. Okay? He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. He made a covenant with the so-called Palestinians that y'all stay over here in the West Bank, y'all stay over here in the Gaza Strip, we over here, and what the bam. And ever since they made that covenant, they've been breaking it ever since. And then pushing them out, fucking them up, and overpowering them, and there's nothing the Palestinians can do about it. And that's why they're fucking mad, and that's how they lash out and try to defend themselves. And this is just what it is. Okay? The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. So, they're going to sound, they're going to try to sound PC. Well, no, we're saying that this is for any and every state, but no, not speaking specifically. No, I'm not about. No, don't take my words. No. But no, but yes, but anyone knows that. They try to stand the way to fucking talk, man. It's bullshit. They will be greatly more respected. They said, look, man, this is our shit. We running this shit. This is how we want it. If you don't like it, we gonna fucking smash you down. Then motherfuckers go, goddamn, we know they the boss. And can we smash them down? Yay or nay? Well, we gonna fight you. Or we gonna fight back. We gonna smash you like a bug. And just be straight up about it. No, they're gonna play games. No. As if they're innocent. No, what we're doing is actually what we're doing to convince you that they're right. Stupid sons of bitches. So like it, man. It gets angry. You get angry when you hear the rhetoric of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and his craft. All right, this is Daniel the 8th chapter. All right, this is what he's known for. You know, this is yes, let's get verse 23. Now this is talking about the end days. It's talking about Esau, Edom, and his kingdom. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, because they're the wicked, the Most High is they're amassing their transgressions to the full, where the Most High can take them down. A king of fierce countenance, that red face. Okay, when you draw a bull with fierce eyes, you draw it red. All right, someone who's fierce, you associated with anger and redness. All right, a red face and understanding dark sentences. Okay, see, he speaks in dark sentences. All right, H24:19. Chayada, riddles. Difficult questions, parables, enigmatic sayings or questions, perplexing sayings or questions, double dealing, all right? A puzzle, hence a trick, a conundrum, sententious maxim, All right, hard question, something twisted, subtly, fraud, a difficult sentence. That's how they speak. All right, show a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, and he shall destroy wonderfully. Why? Because Esau Edom controls the puppet governments, America, the whoever you see, Merkel's and the Putins. There's someone behind them pulling the strings, and it goes back to Esau Edom, the Rothschilds, and the international banking power elite families. All right. And he shall destroy wonderfully, as he's been doing, taking over the world, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. So he's been destroying the mighty people, the different nations, and taking down the righteous Israelites. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace. And this is what this guy right here is projecting, like he's trying to be peace, and he's trying to defend the righteous crackers, which is bullshit. All right, shall destroy many by dropping bombs on those Palestinians that they stole their shit. He shall also, which they stole our shit, so fuck all of them. He shall also, because I'm not defending the fucking Palestinians, fuck all their asses. I'm just showing you that he's a slick ass bastard how he talk. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. Okay, and the Most High is going to destroy him down. Through Yahweh Shem Shai, the prophecies coming to fruition, through the chariots, through the pure strength and power of the Lord, the will of the Lord. All right, this is going to be the word craft. All right, all right. Through his policy, which goes down to Shakal, which goes back to his wisdom. All right. And knowledge, because he's the Illuminati, he can see beyond, he can see what's going on. Why? Because he's in power, and people don't know what's really going on in the world today, bro. All right, and calls craft, marama, which is deceit, treachery, all right, fraud. How do you deceive someone? You tell them something that makes them believe you, but your intentions are ill-gotten. All right, like riches gained by deceit. All right, fraudulent, made to deceive. So the policy that they have is made to deceive you. That's called craftiness. All right, so he speaks with craft through his policy, through his words, through his understanding, and he translates that to you through his speech, his words, and there's always bullshit. All right, that's the reason why also in the book of Psalms to tell you about him deceiving the nations with his crafty counsel. Verse 3, Most High, verse 2, the Lord tell you that they're his enemies. For lo, thine enemies, these different nations, make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel. All right, crafty counsel against thy hidden ones. All right, that crafty here is Iram, to be subtle, shrewd, crafty counsel. All right, so they use their cunning craftily. All right, spiteful, festing one's malevolent mind. Ooh, to make naked, to uncover. All right, to be impudent, spiteful, festing one's malevolent mind, to be crafty. All right, they make their counsel crafty. That means they counsel their words, that they're telling you their advice to you with a crafty, deceitful, malevolent, spiteful, festing one's malevolent mind. Malevolent mind. All right, and against thy people, against the Israelites, and consulted against thy hidden ones to keep them hidden. They had said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, which is the same thing they're trying to do to the Palestinians. Which it might be something to what the apostle said, that they might, we know through the Spirit, a lot of the different nations inside their nations are Israelites that have been mingled among them. All right, but the Palestinian whole, they go back to forefathers. Each Palestinian, either one of the forefathers is going to be from their father, is going to be an Arab, or some of them is going to be Jake, because we mixed and mingled. All right, but collectively, Israel wants Palestine out of there, which proves that they're not the Israelites, because the Lord said when the Lord set up Israel, it was going to be no heathens there. So why so-called heathens there if they if Esau, Edom, was actually the real Israelites? All right. Man, crafty counsel. This is their MO. This is what they do. They crafty, man. They slick. They can't talk right. And one last scripture, because this should show you an example of Esau coming into the town. Oh, everything's peace. We love you guys. I'm just passing through. Yeah, never mind the army. We're just passing through. We're just passing through. Don't worry about us. Hey, you guys are great. You guys are great. Love you guys. Love you guys. You know, this is First Maccabees 2, and I think it's the second chapter. It might be the first chapter. Hold on. Matter of fact, that knows when it came. Gave him credence. Came in deceitfully there too. Might be in the first chapter. Hold on, let's say. Yeah, probably had to be the first chapter or the third chapter. Give me 1 second. But all was deceit. Yeah, here we go. Verse 29. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came into Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words unto them. But all was deceit. See, Esau speaks peaceable words, but his end game behind what he's trying to do is deceitful. For when they had given him credence, believed him, he fell suddenly upon the city, and smote it very sore, and destroyed much people of Israel. All right. But how did he come? He spake peaceable words. Oh, never mind. Yeah, we're just here. We're passing through. Oh, we love you guys. Hey, what's up, Eliezer? I see you, boss. How you been? All right. They feign it. They say, no, they'll talk grandilously and boldly. And as soon as you let down your guard, as soon when they give them credence, all right, faith and fidelity and believe the bullshit, credit, right? Credence, the word goes back to credit. When you credit someone, all right? Don't give credit to someone unless you believe in their shit. You don't give credit to someone unless you believe that they got your back, all right? He fell suddenly upon the city. So never trust your enemies, man. Never trust his words. They're full of crap. They're full of, like the scriptures. Never trust that enemy. His words. As a matter of fact, let me end on that one. You know, never trust your enemy, man. Sirach 12:10. Never trust thine enemy. Never. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humbled himself and talked the talk, like this dude appears like he's humbled himself, and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt knowest that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. You're going to catch his ass with his pants down, man. All right? So, I mean, you can read that whole section. You know. I'll jump down, verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. Hopefully this has been edifying through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Bashim Kakadash. All praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles out in New York, Great Millstone, and GMS honors all I can run the planet. Lift up the name of Yahweh Yahshua to the sincerity. With that, we'll see Shalom and Bob the Ball.